Hey everybody, the trial this week is Corvetting the competition, and the car restriction is a B700 Corvette. And as you all know, I typically pick the cheapest car, meets the guidelines. However, the cheapest Corvette is actually an A-class stock, so that's not going to work. And the second cheapest is right below an A-class and just didn't leave much room for upgrading, so I went ahead and chose this 67 Stingray here. It is 150,000 credits. I'm just not going to break the bank or anything, but doesn't follow my typical style of picking the cheapest thing out there. Anyway, let's look at the races here. The first one is Arch of Mulegé Circuit. Then we have Bahia de Plano Circuit, and then we wrap up with Horizon Mexico Circuit. Okay, let's find ourselves a team. And there's the team. Okay, here we go, race one. Let's start from the front of the teammates. And before I get too far, I do want to call out and say thanks to every single one of you that left messages of condolences last week. That was really epic. It really was. Every single one of you that left a comment mentioned something, and that was it really was awesome. Support is great. I don't know if surprise is the right word, but a lot of you out there either knew someone or really close to someone that lost someone that's really close. Like my brother lost his wife, or my favorite uncle lost their wife or whatever, or husband or whatever. So a lot of you have firsthand experience, and one of you out there, you said you lost your wife as well about a year ago, and I appreciate what you said, that it gets a little bit easier every day, but a year on, it still sucks a year on, which I totally get, and I can definitely see that coming. But I do appreciate you saying we're right there with you. That was really, really, really awesome. I have a funny story, actually. One of you actually donated 100, I think it's called Danish krona, and my son got super excited. And by the way, my son's autistic. I don't know if I ever told you guys that, but he's on the spectrum and whatnot. And if you know anything about autistic kids, they're extremely blunt about him. He's pretty pumped up with the 100 Danish kronas, and I was letting him know, because he's hugely into inflatables, Christmas inflatables, and he's like, hey, we can get one of those inflatables we've been wanting for a while. But I was like, well, it's actually between 10 and 15 bucks is what the translates to. And I actually know that, believe it or not, because I was into Forex last year, and actually more into futures these days. But anyway, whole different story. And I was expecting something along the lines of 10 bucks. But he was actually really, really excited too. I'm like, heck yeah, that is awesome. One of you out there is apparently from Denmark, and threw a little bit of cash my way, and that is absolutely awesome. And my son thought so as well. And he even said, we should be more giving. And Mom would want us to be more giving. And I totally agree. But again, just want to say thanks to all of you out there, for all the well wishes and whatnot. And if you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, if you didn't watch last week's trial, my wife did pass away. It's been about 3 weeks now. And it's been a rough one. But, as I pointed out last week, and some of you mentioned, and the person that lost their wife too last year, playing video games actually helps. Helps with the recovery, and just kind of takes your mind off of things too. But there is that. So, wanted to just mention that here, and believe it or not, we're actually done with the first race. And somehow, I didn't pay too much attention, but we were way in first place there. Look at that. Alright, into race one. And there you have it. We beat the Drivatars on to race 2. Okay, here we go, race 2. And by the way, we barely won the last race. I don't know what happened there at the end. But we only won by 50 points. Those 50 points that you get from finishing first, I guess, came in handy. So I don't know what happened there at the end, but still counts as a win. I'm going to get hammered into there. Oh, I didn't get smashed. Oh, there you go. There's some good smashing going on. Talk more about the race. Here in race 2. A little more happier stuff, I guess. Although I want to mention, there's a song that absolutely destroys me. It's by Pearl Jam. It's off of their Avocado album, and it's called Comeback. My goodness, I can't get through that song without just a complete meltdown. But, I wonder if any of y'all others out there have any songs or whatever you like to listen to get you through some tough times. Anyway, back to racing here. We are behind Katia. Oh, look at that Pablo. I was like to see Pablo in first place. He must have been up in his game recently. Last week, he also finished first in a couple of races. We need to catch up to Pablo here, though, which I think we can do. This car is not too bad. Like I said, it wasn't my first choice. Actually, you know what my first choice really was? It was the Barbie Corvette. But obviously you can't buy that. I don't even know. I mean, it came out during the Barbie movie last year. Man, I'm just slamming into walls here pretty good. I believe it was a free gift from the Forza people. But I doubt, well, I don't know. Maybe a lot of you have it, maybe you don't, but obviously I'm not going to use that. Since you can't pick it up off the auto show. Gosh, am I going to catch up to Pablo here? He's, him and I are leaving some space between everybody else. Looking at the leaderboard there, we are looking really good. Well, I need to catch the Pobs here. If you haven't noticed, this car does not turn rather too sharply, as I keep bouncing into walls there at the end of my turns. I did do that little trick that I like to do, which I'm still not even sure if it really works out, is when you, my goodness, use a drag tires. If it's a B or lower, sometimes I'll slap drag tires on there because it actually gives you pretty good traction. And it doesn't cost a drop of PI points, so you can use them in power and stuff. But it may have negatively impacted me during this race. And I'm not going to pass Pablo. If we had one more lap, I would have. But let's see how we finish the race here. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So we did crush the Drivatars again, and hopefully it actually stays that way, unlike last race. And it definitely will. Everyone's finished here. All right. That takes care of the trial this week. And I do want to say once again, thanks, everybody, for all the condolences and well wishes and whatnot last week. It really, really does mean a lot and does help, probably more than you actually think. Again, thanks, guys. That takes care of the trial, and I will see you all later. And there's Pablo, our winner.